so they're not banging on the door, and we will get this party started. How about?
Let's do this.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever visitor host after hours open mic event. We are so glad that you're here. In case we haven't met, let me introduce myself. My name is Jenny Butts, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for the US for BNI. I am trying very hard to find people who don't know anything about BNI and bring them into your chapters, and then help turn those visitors into new members. And I am joined by my delightful and esteemed colleague, Becky Isbell. Do you want to say hello and introduce yourself, Becky?
First of all, let's do a mic check. Is this thing on? Test.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Testing. All right. Hello, everyone. Becky Isbell here, Managing Director for CORE, US CORE. I am assisting the lovely Jenny Butts today on our open mic night. And as we like to buckle up, Buttercup, because it's going to be a great night. Thanks, Jenny.
Yes, it is going to be great. And Becky's on the road. She's traveling. She's got her groupies and her band, and she's on the road. So she's going to head home tonight after this performance. So here is what we are going to cover today. We want it to be an open mic. We want you to ask questions. We want to hear what's working. We want to hear what obstacles you're facing, because we want to maximize your visitor experience. And so while we are together for the next hour, we will be making sure you're aware of all of the resources that exist for you as a visitor host. And if you're on this call and you are not a visitor host, but you are just invested in the visitor experience in your chapter, then you are welcome. We're so glad you're here, and we want to make these resources available to you as well. So some of them will be what you've found in September. Some of them will be new because we have never stopped making things better. So we'll have new things to show you. And then we want to hear from you. What's working? What's not working? What kind of issues are you running into? And I don't even think that Becky and I will have all the answers, but I bet amongst all of you, you will find some good answers. And so when we hit the snags, we'll be able to hear from each other what's going well in your chapters. And of course, we'll have several times throughout the session for you to ask questions. I have a very specific Q&A slide, so you'll know it's time for that. So let's go over what I know you probably know about, because you are in chapter meetings all the time, but I'm guessing not very many of you have 142 people in your chapters. So let's just make sure that everybody's safe. If you are in your car, pull over. And if you can't do that, then log out and log back in so that we will be able to know that you're safe. We want you to be engaged in this process. If you have something to take notes, that's ideal, because we want you to be as prepared as possible, so that after Thanksgiving, if you're not meeting next week, whenever your next meeting is, you will be prepared for all of the visitors who are coming. And because there are over 140 of us on here, I sure would love it if everybody could mute, but keep your video on if you can, so that we can all feel like we're together in a real open mic night. And put the information in the chat that you would want anyone to find. And that will be a way that you can also do some networking while you're here. If you hear somebody have a really great idea while we're talking, why not find out who that person is and set up a one-to-one? That's what BNI is all about, building relationships, right? And then at the end, when it's great ideas or information in the chat, save the chat before you log off, and then you can go back and get that contact information later. We would just ask, of course, that you use it to build relationships and not an email list. All right. It's time for a giveaway. Let's see what we're gonna win. Dun, dun, dun.
We love giveaways, Jenny.
I know, and I had this really great thing all pulled up, ready to go, and then I closed my window. So here it is. There are 376 people on this list of people who registered. I'm sure not all of you are on here. So for those of you who are present, must be present to win. If you are here, then you have a chance to win a prize. So I'm going to spin the number generator, a number between 2 and 376. And let's just see who is our winner. It's number 198, and that person is Amy Kritzman. Amy Kritzman is she on here? You get a $25 gift card to Domino's. Pizza on us. Amy Kritzman, are you on here? If you're here, raise your hand in the chat bar, in the participation reaction bar, will you? So we know you're here. And if you're not, we'll move right along.
She's not
Don't
on.
see.
She's not here. How is that possible? Amy. All right.
She's always here and she's
I
not
know.
here. She's going to be so sad.
She'll be so bummed. All right, let's do another one. 100. Done. Is Thomas Fernandez. Is Thomas Fernandez on the call? This could take a minute.
I'm checking, Jenny. I'm checking. I don't see it. Thomas Fernandez. Unless I've heard something.
Time's a charm. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll just give you a name.
Jared Lilly, are you here? No. All right. Wow. This is what happens when this is a good lesson in the core value of accountability. When you say you're going to be somewhere, you should be there or you won't win a pizza. Brad,
Can I get it on Amy's behalf, Jenny?
no.
I just changed my name legally to that person's name. Does that count?
It absolutely does not, Mark. Is Brad Cook on the call? All right. This is a lot of fun.
Brad is here. Brad is here.
Brad is here. Yes.
Where are you, Brad? Can you raise your hand, Brad, so we can see you?
He doesn't know
See
how
me?
to raise his hand.
I'm raising my
There he
hand.
Can't
is.
clap though.
There he is. Look at
There he
that. There is Brad Cook right there. Congratulations, Brad.
Thank
We are
you.
going to get you a Domino's card.
Yay, Brad.
I feel like we really worked for that. So thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll
My
be over to
alias-
help. I'll be
my
over to help you eat that
alias-
pizza, Brad.
All right.
My alias is Brad Cook. Does that count?
You keep
Never
trying,
mind.
Mark. I'm going to have to
Never
permanently
mind.
mute you. Come on. All right, let's go back to our regularly scheduled program. The first thing we want to be sure that we're always connecting to is the why. Why are we doing what we're doing as visitor hosts? It's because when people come to our chapter and have a good experience, that is great. They might use the businesses of the members of your chapter. It's even better if those people bring their networks and come and sit in your meetings week after week, and they're invested in your chapter. And your chapter can go from an $850,000 chapter, for example, to a $3 million chapter just by doubling the number of members. And everybody makes more money. And that's the whole mission of BNI, is to help our members increase their business. So it's important for us to have a focus on our visitors because they are going to go tell people about BNI, and we want them to come apply to your chapters. That's why we spend so much time on this process. So these are some of the resources that we'll be going over together in the next however many minutes we have together. Want to make sure that you know that all of these things already exist. We have orientation slides. If your chapter is still on Zoom, and we know that about 70% of our chapters are still, we have slides so that you can do your whole meeting like this. And you also can have slides to show your visitors in the orientation in a breakout room afterwards. We also have a video. We have a script so you know exactly what to say. I also have a video to show you what the script looks like so you know exactly what to say. We have 2 documents that will tell you the best time and methods to contact your visitors before and after your meetings. And we'll have some suggestions as to what you should say in those phone calls. And we have a testimonial template so you can tell your story. I was just on a call today with some visitors in a focus group, and they were saying how powerful it is when they hear from other members that BNI works and they make more money. So we want to help you tell those stories well. We also want to be sure that you understand what collateral we have for you to give to your visitors as they're coming to visit that will explain BNI to them. So all this and more, already worth the price of admission, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself. Let's start with the video. Who is this? I think you've met her before. She had longer hair. This is about a 2-minute video that you can show if your visitors go to a breakout room on Zoom for their orientation. There's a whole script of what the visitor host can say, but if the visitor host loses her voice or his voice, if somebody is late and somebody else has to come in, these videos are available. And like I said, it's about 2 minutes and it will just run through the slides that show how effective referral marketing can be for your business. So your visitors get to hear those statistics. If you want to know what that orientation looks like, there is also on the BNI Team USA YouTube channel, a video that has a mock visitor orientation with me and Becky and a couple of our friends, and they are pretend video visitors, and I'll walk them through so you can see what that process looks like. Take what works for you, see what could be effective in your chapter, and tweak what you need to make it natural and effective for you. Also, we have 2 documents, as I mentioned, that will talk about when is a good time to reach your visitors to help engage them before they even come to the meeting. BNI Connect will automatically send emails, and we'll talk about what happens in a little while. But you as the chapter member have the opportunity to start making a relationship with your visitors even before they come to your chapter. So this is a delightful little map that can show you before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting, the best way to engage with your visitors. And this document, called the Visitor Ideal Timing for Contact document, actually has some talking points. So you'll know what to say to the person when you call the day before or the day after. And I will send a follow-up email to all of you after this call so that you can get these slides, and I will have all of the documents that we're talking about in a direct document attachment, so you don't need to go looking for them. However, if you want to go looking for them for future reference, they will be on bnicoreregions.com. That's the best place for us to have them for you for a core region, which you all are. We also have follow-up conversation starters, and this is in a document called the Visitor Experience Process, so that when you call, you don't have to go, "Hi, this is Bob. How are you?" Awkward silence. We will help make that impossible. Questions like, did you like the meeting? Do you have any questions? How can I introduce you to someone who might help your business, etc. And there are testimony examples. Again, I will send these slides so you can see. We know how powerful this is. We want to help you tell your story articulately and concisely. So this is a sample of how you may want to do that. What time is it? It's time for another giveaway.
Me. Ooh.
I just hope it's easier than the last time.
Oh, Ginny, Amy Kritzman is on now.
Oh, maybe we'll get her this time. Amy.
I'm Amy Kritzman.
Those pesky customers, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? All right, let's see who is the winner. Which is funny, we don't want you to win this one, Amy, because this prize is actually going to be put together, manufactured with love for you by Amy Kritzman and Gold Medal Ideas. So I understand this cap has multiple patterns. You don't have to choose exactly this one, but we are going to put you in contact with Amy Kritzman after this call, whoever wins this fabulous prize, so that you can get your own personalized BNI swag. And that is going to go to Sally Chetwynd. Are you on the call, Sally? Very
See her
suspenseful.
name. She's got to be here. I see her name.
Maybe she
Yeah,
can't get on.
I'm here. I'm here.
Mark.
Say there is a Sally. I looked her up.
I am.
Oh, you
I do
are
exist.
here.
I tried reactions, but I got no reaction.
There's Sally. Congratulations. You are the proud winner of this gorgeous chapeau. We will get this to you. Becky will keep track of that and we will get this to you. Congratulations. And the prizes get better and better. All right, so now that we've had that giveaway, I am going to pause after about 2 more slides and see if anybody has any questions. I want to get all of my information to you, and then you can give all of your information to me. All of these limited time offers sheets should have gone out to your chapters. They are available for you, and we will send them to you. They are things available to our visitors only until the end of the year. That's why we call them limited time offers. So if you are talking to any veterans who own a business or would like to join your chapter, make sure that they know between now and the end of the year, they can purchase a 12-month membership and have 15 months on it. They will get 3 additional months. That's a great, great deal for anybody. And if they have a 2-year membership that they want to buy, they will be able to take advantage of this bottom offer as well, which is $200 off of a 2-year membership. That one is available to you as renewing members as well. If you renew for a 2-year membership, you will also get $200 off, which for many regions is the equivalent of no application fee. And for some, it's just a nice little discount. In addition, if you sponsor a member, whether you are a member or a member and a chapter success coach, we just discovered today, if you sponsor a new member between now and the end of the year, we will extend your membership for 3 more months. And if you do that 4 times between now and the end of the year, you'll get a whole extra year of your BNI membership. Pretty nifty. So these are available, as well as if you are a member, if you have a member who left the chapter and then came back, they can use their certificate of credit. We still have the nonprofit membership for a year, and we've added to that a Junior Chamber International member or alumni could also have a 1-year complimentary membership. So think about all of the different angles. It's really hard to say no to something that's complimentary. So think about all the people who might come into your chapter. And the last 2 we are continuing from before. If you are having a hard time because of your business, whether it's the pandemic or the economy, and a 3-month extension at the time of your renewal would help you, we have that available for you. And if another option that would help you is a PayPal account, that is an option that you can talk to your chapter success coaches about as well. So we want all of you to know what's available for you as members, as well as what's available for your visitors. And just for your visitors, we have this special one sheet that was sent to all of the presidents of in-person chapters. We had big shipments of sheets of paper for visitors, visitor hosts, presidents, members. And so if you're an in-person chapter, your president has probably about 100 copies of these for you to give to your visitors at meetings. If you're an online chapter, then this is also available to you at bnicoreregions.com, and I will send an attachment to you. But this is a one sheet that just tells all of the great things about BNI to your visitors. So it might be even a conversation starter if they have some questions or you want to tell them more information about any aspect here on the one sheet. Phew. All right. I got that first big batch out of the way. Who has questions? Let's see if we can answer any questions about these specific topics.
This is Deb Swanson. We have 2 new members that are 2 renewing members that renewed today. If they did not know about the 200 and they did a 100, can they adjust their membership?
I would check with your chapter success coach, because there may be something, if it's only been a day, that may still be in the works, and there's probably something that they can do, but I don't know the specifics of it, Deb. So you probably want to check with your chapter success coach.
Okay, and I'm not sure what a chapter success coach is. That's a
Every
new term
chapter
to me.
has, we used to call them support directors.
Like
And
our,
they just change their name. So it's somebody who will come to your chapter, somebody who works
Okay.
part-time for BNI. And if
so
you
it's our
go to-
director, basically. So,
Yes.
okay, chapter
Yes.
success coach. Okay.
Yes, that's what we call them now.
All
And,
right.
and that brings up a good point, because if any of you are newish and you're not sure who the people are you're supposed to contact for your chapter, if you go to your chapter your regional website and find your chapter. So if you're in Denver, go to bnicolorado.com. If you're in Washington, bninorthwest.com. Find your chapter, and all of your leadership team people will be there. All of your members will be there, and the chapter success coach for your chapter. And you can contact any of those people directly through your regional website. So that is a good resource for you to know about and to share with everybody else in your chapter as well.
Hey,
I have
Jenny.
a question. About partway through last month, my chapter went full time, but to our knowledge, our president hasn't mentioned that he has copies of that visitor document that you sent. We'd actually asked our printer to make some for us from the PDF. How do we find out if he actually was sent them other?
We just got ours today at a meeting, so they just came. So we got ours today.
Yeah. And I know it sounds like I'm beating one drum, but I would say the same to you, Ken. I would check with your chapter success coach. I think a lot of our training could be condensed if we said, if you run into any problems, just talk to your chapter success coach, because your coaches are on calls all the time to get this kind of information. You don't work for us. They do. So let them figure it out for you, and they know who to call and what to do. So if you get stuck, Ken, and your president isn't sure what to do, have them reach out to the chapter success coach, and I'm sure we'll figure out what to do for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. What else? And if you guys, since we do have 150 people, if you all will look at the reactions part of the screen, in the reactions part, there's a little button that says raise hand. That will pop you right up to the top. So I don't have to look through, see how Becky just did it? Then I don't have to look through 150 of the tiny little pictures on my camera. And I can look. Like I see that Anne Marie Hatfield has a question because she raised her hand. Thank you, Anne Marie. How can I help?
You're welcome. So I just popped over to BNI Core Regions to see if I could find the documents, and I don't see them on there yet. I know we're going to get them emailed, but will they live on BNI Core Regions at some point?
They will
Okay.
live there. I wasn't sure if they were going to get up there today, or maybe they'll make their way there tomorrow. They have very tired legs, these documents, and they just haven't gotten that far yet. So we will have those to you very, very soon. And hopefully when I send you the follow-up email, I'll also be able to say, and I have confirmed all the documents are on coreregions.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, Danielle.
Hi, Jenny. I understand I could probably ask my chapter success coach, but I was wondering how early can we renew in an effort to get the special deal?
Quite early, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe Becky Isbell has the answer to this question. Becky, do you happen to know how early people can renew?
As soon as they want.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
So
So I
we have
understand.
some who just renewed. Yeah.
So
and they're
I would
taking advantage.
understand. So I'm the VP. I would have to get myself approved.
great. Okay, good. Steve Chinuzzo, how can I help?
I would like to confirm that those documents will be on BNI Core Regions first thing in the morning.
Thank you. You will give them Gatorade so they can run right over.
Exactly.
Thank you, Steve. Becky, is your hand up in demonstration, or do you really have a question?
No, I really do. Just a correction on the sponsor, the member. It's 3 months for the first member and then 1 month thereafter.
Thank you for that. Read the fine print, Jenny Butts. Yes, that's good to know. Mitch.
My question is for a new member that came on October. He's a veteran. He's already paid. How do we get him the $200 credit for being a new member now and a veteran?
Yeah. Did he sign up for a 2-year membership?
I think he did.
Okay. If he signed up for a 2-year membership and it was after October 1st, he automatically would have gotten that. If he signed up for a 1-year membership, he should have, it should be that they just have to submit their, is it DD 214?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's going to get us his DD 214 and then we'll get him the discount.
Yes. Yes. And that's a chapter success coach thing. They can put in a ticket for you and get that taken care of.
And the check will be sent to him. Is that right?
If he sent a check, they will probably do it that way. If he used his credit card, they'll probably put a credit on his credit card.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Celestine.
Hi,
Hi.
can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering, for the discount for the 2 years, 'cause I decided to do a 2 years, but guess what? My date was May 1st. So that would not apply to me at all, right?
Well, not for the current renewal, because that was 6 months ago. But if you want to add 2 more years starting in May, you could probably do that before the end of the year and do 2 more years.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Just was wondering.
Yeah,
Thank
you could just be in it forever. Be in BNI forever.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? I love a well-organized thing. And when you guys put your hands up and you pop to the top and I can call on you and lower your hand, like Bethany just did, it makes me so happy. Bethany, how can I help?
I just wanted to clarify on the veteran thing. The guy was just saying he'll receive a discount. The veteran is just adding 3 months to their membership, correct?
Oh, yes,
discount
for the 1 year. Yes, you are correct. Thank you. If that was confusing, you are right. It
so
is.
they just automatically would tack on those 3
Yes.
months to his current membership.
Yes, thank you. I probably misspoke there. Thank you, Bethany. That's true. So if it was a 1-year membership, no money will be exchanged. They'll automatically get 3 more months. If it's a 2-year membership, that process probably is automatic once they submit their DD 214. But again, your chapter success coaches know everything. I clearly do not.
Ask your chapter success coach. They will clarify.
They want you to be successful. Yes, Ken.
Actually, I have 2 questions. As I understand it, essentially vets can double dip.
No.
Okay.
They-
They can only
because
take
you-
advantage of one of the discounts.
Right, because you can't have a 1-year and a 2-year membership. So if they get a 1-year membership, they get 3 additional months. If they get a 2-year membership, they get $200 off.
Okay, so that was question number 1, and question number 2 may or may not be part of what you're answering now. But I also went over to the BNI core regions, and I'm trying to find the dance card form there.
I don't think that's where you'll find it. But if you will, if you send me an email, Ken, at jennybutts@bni.com, I will see if I can find some information for you afterwards.
Okay, because my chapter is trying to get people back in the habit of using it. I know that, I have a very nice Word document from about 10 years ago of that form, but I think there's a more recent PDF fillable version.
There may not be, but email me and I'll
Okay.
get back to you tomorrow about it.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, if you have continued questions, I see we have over 100 things in the chat, so we'll try to catch up with those. I also know that in half an hour, I may lose a lot of you, so I can't think of any better way to transition than to do a giveaway, That one had animation. You're welcome. All right, this is going to be, again, gold medal ideas. Thank you, Buffalo Grove, Illinois, and Amy Kritzman. Let's see who is going to have a delightful, cozy sweatshirt for winter. Hopefully this won't be anybody in Florida because it won't get as cold as it does in, say, Michigan.
Yes, I need that in Florida.
Okay. All right. Let's see who's getting this one. Number 174 is Mark Johnson. Do we have Mark Johnson on the call today?
I'm in Florida.
Good for you. Good for you. Can I borrow it?
And we have a winner, Jenny Butts.
I love
Winner.
it. I love it.
Where's the winner live?
There.
All right,
is-
Mark Johnson.
Yeah. You really are in Florida, Mark?
Can't you tell?
Dude, I want to
Yes.
borrow it.
Leaders by design.
What? Leaders
No,
by
I want to
design?
borrow it.
We're
I
neighbors.
love it.
I'm
All
winning
right.
edge. I'm borrowing it.
Oh, you're
Well,
that loser group.
congratulations,
That's
Mark.
right.
All right. That was a lot of fun. And we had the animation.
Sorry.
So you got to see the sweatshirt dance. Thank you again, Amy Kritzman, for the fun BNI swag that you'll provide for us. All right. I didn't know if this was information you had or not, so I thought I'd ask the question, did you know? Did you know that visitors can apply to your chapter with a QR code that is unique to your chapter? If you didn't know that, I'm going to show you how. And did you know that when you mark attendance of your visitors after the meeting, it triggers emails? So it's very important that we get that process. And I know there have been lots of questions about the new visitor portal. So if we have a little, maybe we'll do it now, or maybe we'll do it later, but I want to have a chance to do a screen share and show everybody what that process looks like. And this is a pretty new thing. We have something called the Priority Placement Program. And that is to help visitors find a chapter if they can't join yours. And there are lots of reasons why someone might want to be part of your chapter, but it's not possible. And we still want to find a home for them. So now we have a program to help them do that. So I just wanted to let you know that these things are available. This is another document that I will send to you. If your chapter is online, this is an easy thing to put on a slide, and then your visitors just hold up their phone and they take a picture. They don't have to take a picture. It goes right to a place where they can apply to your chapter. They don't have to scroll through all the chapters. They apply directly to yours. So it's super easy on Chrome. And if you have a QR code generator, it's also quite easy and free on other browsers. So I didn't know if you all knew this, you could do this. I didn't know when I did all your trainings in September. So this is new information for me that I wanted to be sure that I passed along to you. So that is another document that I will send to you, so you have those resources. And the visitor portal, what I think I would like to do for this one is put a pin in this to make sure we hear some stories first. And we'll show how to mark attendance and check your visitor registrations and things. But if you have, I'm trying to think how to do this. Like if you have questions about the visitor portal, wonder if there's a reaction in Zoom that you could put like a thumbs up. If you can do a reaction as a thumbs up, if you're having questions and issues with the visitor portal, I'm just going to look at that in a few minutes and see how prevalent that issue is. So if you go into your reactions, you should have a whole bunch of emojis, but the first one that you should be able to see, Mark, you got it. Mark's got a thumbs up. So we will definitely be covering this. I just want to get through one more slide after this first, so you know about these other things. Priority Placement Program. There are lots of reasons why people may not be able to join your chapter, even if they want to apply. It might be the wrong day of the week, the wrong time. Maybe you have a stack day and you have 6 realtors who apply, but you only can have 1. What do we do with those other realtors? Maybe your categories are already taken. A massage therapist comes and you already have a massage therapist, or for whatever reason, that person is just not quite the right fit for your chapter. What would we do with these people? We don't want to just say, sorry, bye. So now we have, yes, your chapter success coach. This is a really important person for you to know. If the visitor can't join your chapter success coach has an elaborate and efficient system to help place visitors in another chapter, so you keep expanding your network with people who do business like you do, or they can start their own chapter. And the more BNI members we have in any community where you live and work, the better, because then you're still doing business with people who operate by giver's gain. So I didn't know if you knew that that was a thing. It's a thing. We have it called the Priority Placement Program. We will find a place for your visitors. No visitor left behind. That's going to be our new thing. Yes, Ken.
All right, I don't want to be a downer, but I have an issue in my chapter where people go crazy if anybody visits who's a conflict.
Yeah.
And it was an issue in this chapter way before I ever joined it. So how do we deal with that?
That's a chapter culture issue that we hear a lot about. And maybe Danielle has some insight. It seems like she maybe does. And as the visitor host, this is an important conversation for you all to have. Danielle, what do you have to say?
Number 1, giver's gain.
Yep.
That right there should say it all. But number 2, if a stranger standing up for 30 seconds is going to hurt the other person that badly, then apparently we have an issue with that person's ability to build relationships with their team. 30 seconds from a chiropractor I don't know can't hurt the chiropractor that I'm with all the time. So shush and giver's gain. Done.
Yes. That's the bottom line. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. But it is a conversation, kind of like the conversations a lot of you are having with your chapters about whether to stay online or to go in person or to do the hybrid. These are difficult conversations with strong feelings, and how you have the conversation is more important than the decision you come to as a chapter. So don't threaten the unity of your chapter in any of these conversations. We really recommend that you work through them. And I know you know who you should call if you have a problem? Guess. Your chapter success coach. But that is something that's happening a lot. And the visitor hosts can't really bulldoze through and say, we're changing the culture, nor should the visitor hosts, I think, just say, oh, well, that's what we do. It behooves everyone to have a really important conversation around what that looks like for your visitors going forward. It doesn't feel good to a visitor to say, we are so glad you came, sit down and don't talk. That doesn't feel very good, I don't think, to your visitors. So, all right. Any questions about the did you knows, about the chapter placement program, or about what was the other one I said? Like, I forgot already. Yes, Terry.
QR codes.
Yes, the QR codes. Yes, Terry.
With the hi everyone. With the placement program, what if we have a visitor that's out of state and they're looking for a BNI in their state? Does the placement program help with that?
Yes, it will definitely help with that, especially if that other region or that other state is also a core region, a company-owned region. And I know some of you may be in regions that are newer to the core family and some have been around for a while. So we will still help place them in other states. It will just be a matter of finding where they are. And that's such a great point that you bring up, Terry, because especially with online chapters, some people are saying, well, I live in California, but I want to be in a Minnesota chapter because that's where my family is. And that can be possible if all the people in the chapter are nationally able to do that. But it also can be challenging, as maybe you've run into, because I'm not going to run into people on a daily basis that I can refer to another state. So it is very important to find the right place, the right state and city for a person, because you want to be in either the community where you live or where you work, so you can actually generate the referrals. That's the point of a membership, right? Yeah. So thank you for bringing it up, Terry. That's a really good question.
You're welcome.
Aaron.
Yeah, real quick. So when you mark attendance and that sends out auto-generated emails, I know that happens for quite a few different things. Is there any way we can see what actually does get sent out, so it's not kind of repetitive or just completely redundant of the messages that we're sending to?
Yes, that is a great question. And Aaron, one of the things that I have spent the last several days talking in lots of meetings about is compiling one document to send to you, especially as visitor hosts, but also coaches and presidents. This is what happens 2 days before your visitor, after your visitor registers. This is what they get 24 hours. This is what they get after the meeting, et cetera, et cetera. So that is one thing that is coming to you. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you visit other chapters, because if you register on BNI Connect, you can register yourself to visit any chapter, whether you go to the chapter or not. Of course, we want you to go because we want you to build relationships. But if you go to another chapter and register to visit, you will see all the emails that you get, and then you'll be able to know exactly what those are while you're waiting for us to compile it for you.
Do those differ from an actual member visiting it or guesting at another chapter, or from just brand new visitors?
No, it should be exactly what your visitors see, because I've been doing it to practice a lot, and it doesn't know that I'm a director.
All right. Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, that's good. Good questions. What else? Michelle.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Let me turn my video back on. So I actually did register as a guest and attended another chapter yesterday, and I have not received any emails. So just a question to follow up. It sounds like I should have, even though I'm a member, have gotten those. So should I assume I should talk to my coach?
That's a great suggestion, Michelle.
But I did want to just make mention that there must be a little glitch at times. So anyway,
That might be. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's even more reason to register as a visitor so you can see when it works and when it doesn't work.
Mhm.
Yeah. Abby.
So regarding that question, the visitor host has the option to not send them an email. They have a checkbox in the visitor portal. So for instance, we have a visitor she's visited numerous times because her application's been in, it's been going through processing. We keep telling her just to keep coming back. So I keep opting her out of getting that email because she's already visited. So if that group already knows you're a BNI member, that visitor host possibly click that box. It's like in the bottom down right-hand corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at you. You know the labyrinth of BNI Connect very well. That's such good information. Thank you, Abby. That is good to know. All right. Wow. Good stuff, guys. Well, I hope you think it's good stuff. I like having all the questions. It's time for another giveaway. Yes, that's the face I want, Becky Isbell. That is the face I want. It took you a second. All right, let's see who is going to get a $25 Amazon card. I'll tell you who that's.
West Coast.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? It's going to be Melinda Epstein. Is Melinda on the call?
I am. Yay.
Ah, hooray. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yay. You can buy anything you want for $25.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, good. See, that's worth the price of admission. You didn't even have to pay $25. Hooray. All right. Now is the open mic time. Now is the time. I want to make sure you had all the information. I want to hear from you. What's working? What's not working? I have my pencil ready. I'm going to take notes. I have pages, empty pages in a notebook. And I love that Donna can't wait to share something. I hope it's something good, but let's see what it is. Go ahead, Donna.
Hi, everybody. I'm Donna Cole. I live in Thornton, Colorado. I want to brag on my visitor host teammate, who's also on the call, Adria Zimmer. She's amazing. Let me tell you what she does. So during the meeting, whenever we have a visitor, she captures, we're still currently online. She captures all of their contact information and their commercial, and she writes it all on one page and mails it out to all of our chapter members so that we can contact our visitors after the meeting and have their commercial in front of us, knowing what they've just asked for. And I think she's fabulous. So
I love it. I love it. Can I ask everybody to do me a favor after you share, because I love hearing it. Can you write a little summary of what you just said in the chat? That way people can save the chat. And we're also recording this call, but that way we'll capture it multiple ways. That would be super, super helpful. Thank you so much, Donna. Hi, Kitty. What's working? What's not working?
Afternoon, everybody. Prior to the portal, we used to be able to register a visitor in any chapter, but now we can only register ourselves. And if you want to visit, have another person visit a different chapter, you have to find somebody in that chapter to register them. So I don't know if you guys were aware of that, but that is, we would like to have back where you could register a visitor in any chapter.
Okay. That was probably a Jeremy Walsh question, but before we go on to anything else, has anybody else experienced this as an issue, and have you found a workaround or some other piece of that?
Hey,
No.
Jenny, yeah, I found that it went away. Some of the members in my region have said it went away too, just recently though.
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I want to add that
today.
it was a problem for me also.
Okay.
In my region.
Me too.
Jenny,
Okay.
I'm in Colorado and I do it all the time.
Huh.
It seems that we can invite, but we can't register unless it's a chapter that we're either in or a chapter within our scope if we are a success coach.
Yeah.
It's a problem for me too.
Yeah, maybe we can find out because there's several managing directors and different people on the call. Maybe we can find out if there was some thought given to that, like we don't want people randomly signing people up to visit other chapters. We want to be able to invite them and they register themselves. I'll see if I can find out more about that, because I'm not sure what the thought process was behind it all. But thank you for bringing it to our attention. Anne Marie.
Hi, me again. Two things. Number one, I love the new portal. I love being able to indicate that somebody is a substitute. I'm the visitor coordinator in my chapter. And so I think that's super cool. The one kicker about that is if they are a substitute and they are actually a qualified visitor, then the VP has to manually add them in as a qualified visitor. But other than that, I love the fact that we're able to indicate whether or not they visited before and things of that nature. So I love that. One issue that I've had when I go to take attendance is sometimes they disappear. I know that that's probably a connect issue that I can connect with on Jeremy, but what I get you get the email that says so-and-so is visiting, you go to take attendance, and then they poof, disappear before I'm able to actually mark them as present. I don't know if anybody else has had that issue, but that's come
I
up for
just
me a
heard
couple
that
times.
earlier this week, Anne Marie, and for that particular person, I don't know if it's the truth for you. For that particular person, they had waited more than 48 hours to take attendance. And this is an important feature. If you don't mark your visitors having attended or not attended within 48 hours, they will automatically get the "sorry, we missed you" email, and they'll disappear. So it's very important that you mark your visitors present, and your VPs need to take attendance as soon as possible, 24 to 48 hours, because at 48 hours is when a lot of automated things start to happen. And we're working on that. I'm working with our VP of Global Marketing to send an email to everybody that doesn't say "we missed you" or "thanks for coming," but so these kinds of things won't happen. But if you know that it was within 24, 48 hours, Anne Marie, then I would submit a ticket, send a ticket to support@bniconnect.com.
Yeah, I'd
No,
take
yes.
attendance in the meeting while they're there. So they just, it was weird because we get the email that says they're there. I go to check to see they're there. I always do a spot check to make sure they get the link and all of that before the meeting. And, when I'm halfway through the meeting, I go in to look and there's nobody there anymore. So
Yeah. That might be a glitch that you can ask somebody who has a technical side to it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Melinda.
Hi, I apologize. I'm so dark. I'm sitting in my car, but I'm looking for any tips or suggestions. We're a strictly online chapter. We are kind of stagnant at 16 people. We our visitors we're working on, but I love the tip about the 60 second. We snag the contact info but I love that. I didn't even think of that, the 60 second and emailing that out. Any other tips from anyone with a virtual chapter only?
One of the things that I do in my chapter, and I'm sure a lot of other people do this too, is I have the visitors put their contact information in the chat. So if one of our members hears something about their weekly ask or wants to connect with them, it makes it super easy for them to do that.
Okay.
Well, when we were meeting online, we're meeting in person now, but what we did is we actually did a breakout room pre-meeting because what we found is that we all knew each other and we were talking to each other and we knew what was going on. And we kind of got feedback from visitors saying that we were cliquish. So we did a breakout room so we could do it, interact with the visitors from a more personal standpoint. And that seemed to help a lot.
That's
a great
idea.
Yeah, we do
that's
that
great.
too. Works out really well. Let them know what to expect.
Yeah.
Great,
I love
thank
that.
you.
What we do, we're online and we have the president does the deck and creates a slide for each of the visitors based on the information that was put in when they registered to visit. So
Right.
it's as if they've got that slide. And I, as the visitor host, I email all of the members the day before, all of the visitors who are coming and what categories they are in.
Yeah, and that's a
Right.
great thing to call the visitors about the day before to say, we're an online meeting. Did you get the Zoom link? And if you have an updated headshot, I would love to add that to our slide deck for you. Then they know you're going to some effort before they come, and they'll probably be more likely to show up. I just heard a statistic this week that 50% of our visitors who register don't even show up for the meeting. We are losing a lot of potential visitors, but if we make that phone call the day before and make it feel like we're really making an effort and we can't wait to meet them, who can I introduce you to? What information can we put there? That will think, oh, well, if they're buying me food, or if they're going to put my headshot on, I better show up. So those are really good things to get them engaged before they even show up to the meeting.
Great tips. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I tell you another thing too is the personal aspect of it. I had a guy today that came in, and I ended up finding a place for him to sit, introducing him to the people that he would be sitting with, letting them know that he's a visitor, with the idea that I did not want him to walk in that room. We got about 30 people and say, okay, now what do I do? That would just be terrifying.
Yeah.
So just put yourself in their position. He walks into the room. What's he going to do? He didn't know what to do. So I just made sure I led him to where it would be a comfortable situation for him.
So good. So good. And if you have more ideas, continue to put them in the chat. I want to see if we have a lot of people with hands raised. So let's see what else we can hear about. Is it Kier?
Yes, Kier.
Hi.
I had the same problem as Anne Marie. When I looked at the visitor report the day before the meeting, all the visitors that were registered were there. And then right after the meeting, I've been taking attendance. I would go back in. There was no visitors registered. So I've been having to go back in and manually add those visitors in. So they're looking at it, but.
Okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, good. At least you're contacted with somebody. So that's good to know. All right. And good to know, people, if you're discovering this, you're not alone. Other people are having the issue too. And so, reach out to the BNI Connect support team. Thank you, Kier. Danielle.
Hi. So going back to the inviting people that may already have a seat, you have a real estate agent, but you want to invite another to be Giver's Gain and just help promote BNI as a general practice. When a member registers their guest,
We're all anticipating the answer.
Yeah, it looks like she froze. ...
That's a very powerful ellipsis right there. We'll come back to you, Danielle. We'll come back to you. Susan?
Okay, I'm very new at this. I've only been a member for, it'll be a year, and I'm the visitor host coordinator. Okay, I send out an email when I, go in to see who's registered to be a visitor or a substitute. And then should I be calling them also?
Well, this is part of the issue we have when we know they're getting emails. We don't want to inundate them with so many emails. Are you talking about before the meeting?
Correct. Just telling that we're looking forward to seeing them.
Yes.
And so should I be calling them also?
Yes.
And just saying, oh, okay, because that's something I have not been.
Right. I would recommend the chapters make phone calls or even send a quick text and let BNI Connect do the email thing. Now, I know some chapters also send emails, and that just means your visitor gets 2 emails with the information, and that's fine too. But if you don't want to have to do so many of those things, you can just let BNI Connect take care of the automated emails. We are working on that side so that they'll get the Zoom link or your physical address. But if you call them, you can say, did you get the email with the address? Or do you know where to park? Or do you have any dietary restrictions? You can just start building that relationship with a phone call. So many times we're just sending emails and people don't read them. But if you text and say, hi, I'm Susan with the such and such chapter, you're coming tomorrow. Do you have a few minutes? I'd love to call you. Because also sometimes people don't pick up a phone if they don't know the number. I don't.
Correct. Okay. Okay, that's a great idea because I question sometimes if they've gotten the email, and I usually ask when they come, but
yeah,
it's kind of okay. That's something I'm gonna initiate then.
Good. You're back, Danielle.
Yes, hello. So if you invite someone who already has the seat filled, then they're not technically a visitor, they're a guest, which means that the member that did the inviting did not get credit. But if they were to force it and make them a visitor, even though the seat's already filled, they don't join our chapter. Therefore, it hurts our conversion rate on the chapter traffic lights.
Right.
That's an issue we've been having where it's great to be friendly, but our conversion rate looks really crappy.
Yes.
If you're too friendly.
Well, and that's why the visitor portal was updated to be able to say that someone is a guest and not a visitor. And
so then I, as VP, would go back in and give them credit, or they don't get credit if it's not.
No, the only thing that will go through the Palms report is a first-time qualified visitor. That's how we fix the conversion rate.
Right.
Because because the conversion rate won't be accurate if everybody who comes in is counted as a visitor, because several people from other chapters could visit and we can't possibly be members of two chapters.
No.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's the workaround.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we've been doing. I think it's just the motivation of credit on the Palms is a big thing driver for people. So you just got to change that it's more than that. So.
Well, yeah. And the value of bringing a first-time qualified visitor is that you are introducing a brand new person to the network of everybody in your chapter. That's new business and a potential new referral partner in the chapter. That's what we're counting because that's what's so valuable. The other things are also great.
Yeah.
We're just focusing on that one thing to grow the chapter because it's the fastest way for everybody to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beth.
So I'm in an online chapter in Michigan, and as visitor host, I make sure I email the visitors all the members' contact information so that in case, and I do the same, giving the members their information, but I give the visitors all our contact information so that if they have a question, they can contact us.
That's a great idea. And I have seen emails from chapters that also attach a roster, like as you're saying. So these are the people you'll meet. And then you could make even a follow-up phone call to say, is there anybody that I could introduce you to? Who would be a good referral partner for you? I'd love to make sure that you meet them in the chat, or if you're in person, I'd love to make sure that you sit next to them so that you maybe can do business together. And again, that's a way for a visitor to go, wow, these people are serious about business. Yes, you are. All right, Sandy.
This was really, really informative. I like the idea of the visitor host. I'm not the visitor host, I'm VP, but of asking for a photo ahead of time. This is a new chapter that I'm part of in the Washington State. They launched in May, and we've been we log in at 4 p.m. Pacific time, but then there's two networking. So a few minutes in one, and then we do a second one. When that gives us, instead of just doing one longer one, and because I'd visit other chapters and some do longer, we're pretty good at 22, 23 people and people that come. But I like the headshot because as what I'm doing, I go in and still people that joined a few months ago and haven't had time to put the headshot in.
Yeah.
And this might perceive that might help that. It's not an issue, so I'm not making it an issue. It's just that this way I don't have to go in later and say, do you have a headshot? I could help you pop it in there if you'd like.
For sure. Yeah. And I think it's a great reminder for your members too, because if I'm looking at a slide on my laptop and I'm a visitor and I see all of the members of this chapter I'm visiting, and I see some of them with really nice professional headshots and some of them going with a beer in their hand for their headshot, I don't get a consistent professional feel from the whole chapter. And so I think if any of you have, this is a plug for one industry, I know, if any of you have connections to BNI members who do professional headshots, it is worth every penny to put that in your profile, in your BNI Connect profile, to put it on LinkedIn and to use it in your meetings, because it is your first impression and you don't want the hand of somebody on your shoulder because you were at a party or function with them. You need a professional headshot if you are in the professional industry and you need to be represented well. And I think that's true whether you're in the trades or the legal profession. You can have a nice one even in your industry attire, but to do that for a visitor means you are being presented right away as being a high caliber professional in your industry. So whatever is appropriate for your industry. These Zoom meetings are a great place to showcase that. So thanks for bringing that up, Sandy. Mark, not wearing your new sweatshirt yet.
Not yet, it hasn't arrived. Karen and Anne-Marie brought up something that was interesting. I read into this issue. I put a bunch of substitutes in last week. And I went to look at it yesterday. We meet on Thursday morning, and there was nothing there. And I looked this morning, there was nothing there. I looked tonight, and everything's in there. But you can edit the date of the visitors when they're in there. It's just somebody had asked that question earlier.
Yeah.
But there's a glitch somewhere in the system where things are disappearing, just like when you turn in thank you for closed business or one-to-one, sometimes they just don't appear. And I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, I don't either, but those are usually BNI Connect things. And so if you are in BNI Connect and you see the little question mark and you have the little icons in the upper right hand corner, one of those is that you can just click and it takes you to a page and you can put a support ticket in and they will look at your situation, and they are very, very quick in their responses. So if you have any of those kinds of glitches, go into BNI Connect and look for that little icon in the upper right and you'll get some answers.
Yeah, they just magically reappear.
That is hard to rely on though, Mark. So let's see if we can have something more consistent, shall we? Hi, Isis, is that your name?
It is, yes.
Yeah, hi.
I'm over in the Bridge, which is in Cambridge, Mass. We are a virtual only chapter that launched just a couple of months ago. And it's kind of a simple thing, but I've been in a number of different BNIs. And one of the things that we've done is made sure that our visitor hosts have no fear of speaking up in the main session. In the first 10 minutes, when it's open networking, to welcome the new visitor into the room the moment they come in, right? Like let them get their mic on and all of that. But it's a big deal when you're coming into a room of 20, 30 people and everybody's chatting away and you don't know anybody but maybe one person.
Yeah. For sure. And if we can remember, Isis, that's such a great reminder that our meetings are for the visitors.
Mm-hmm.
You all know each other. You know how to reach out to each other. You have happy hours. You have barbecues together. The meeting is to introduce visitors so that everybody can do more business. And the quicker you can do that for a visitor, to your point, the more comfortable they'll feel. They don't know you. They don't know what a meeting is like. And this is for them to see how amazing your businesses are and how great BNI is for your business. So I love that. Greet them as soon as they log in.
I'll add just one thing to it. We used to do a breakout room before the meeting began, but what we recognized is that the visitors oftentimes were not coming until the last moment. And we couldn't hold off starting the meeting or have all the visitors in a separate room when those visitors were coming in. And so we don't do a breakout room in the beginning anymore. We just have, and I'm the visitor host. And so I will say hello to them as they're coming in. And then 1 minute before the meeting begins, I'm the last person who speaks before the president does. And then I turn it over to her.
I love it. It sounds super efficient and clear for your visitors. I love that. That's great. Sean.
Yes, Isis, I think that's a great thing where you have that last minute to greet your guests as they come in. One thing that we've instituted, and we're a virtual only chapter. We launched here in South Florida in April. But one of the things we've found has paid real dividends for us in terms of making the the visitors feel more welcome and comfortable is we start with instead of just having general conversations, we have an icebreaker question that's asked and everyone has an opportunity to answer that question. For example, today's, since we aren't meeting next week being Thanksgiving, the question was, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? And everyone had an opportunity to go around, and it's a lot less structured. It's more comfortable and casual.
Yeah.
And everyone, including the visitors, has an opportunity to speak and give their to give their input. But I think the guests are a little more casual, so you get a little better feel for everyone's personality, the jokesters, the people who are more serious, and you can really get a feel for everyone in the group. And we have I think 17-person chapter and growing, but it gives everyone an opportunity to provide their own feedback. And I think that gives a really good insight into everyone's personality, but also allows the visitor to get a feel for how close knit our members are and how close we've become in really a short amount of time. And that's one of the positive feedbacks we get from our visitors at the end of the meeting when I meet with them, is how close everyone seemed and how the chemistry among everyone is really good, and that they really seem to appreciate that.
Yeah, I love that. I see that you've got a couple more. I want to be sensitive. I know we've gone over for 8 minutes, so I just want to make sure you have some closing information. I'm happy to stick around. It's only 3:30 on the West Coast, so I've got lots of time. But I want to make sure that you all know we are going to do this again in January. Because you'll be months into your position by then. And so I want to be sure that I'll send you the link for this, that it'll be Thursday, January 13th. So it'll be this same time. And we will do this again where you'll get to hear from each other. Maybe for that one, we'll even do some breakout rooms and you can share some best practices because you'll have a lot under your belt. And January will be a good time for you to start thinking about spring visitor days. How will you help your president and your membership committee make sure that that's a good thing? We'll have another one in the spring, and then maybe we'll have a wrap up in the summertime when you can bring your successor, whoever's going to take over for next year. I know it's crazy to think about that now. It's only November, but I wanted you to put this on your calendar so that we can have this opportunity again after the holidays. And then I want to do one last drawing. See all of you sticking around to the very end. This is the advantage to your perseverance. So these are 3 great books. I just downloaded the Adam Grant book, and I have the Get Different book. I've read a different book by Mike Michalowicz, and Matthew Pollard and Mike Michalowicz were both speakers at our national conference last spring. And so these are going to be good additions to your library. So let's see who gets to take these 3. Let's just see. 337. This goes to, if possible, Ashley Sullivan. Is Ashley Sullivan here by any chance?
No, Ashley.
Okay, you're checking it down there, aren't you? I see that. Thanks.
I'm your co-pilot tonight.
I know you're doing great. How about Ed Bierschenk?
Yeah, Ed's here from San Antonio.
Hooray! Ed, you get to add to your library. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're going to
Ed
need
is a lifelong learner, so he will definitely appreciate these books.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. So, and again, I will stick around. We can hear ideas. We can answer questions. But also when you log out, you will be prompted to take a 5-question survey. So it would really help me to know how to do January's event more effectively if you give me a little bit of feedback on that. So I sure would love it'll take you just a few minutes. They're short questions, a couple or even multiple choice, easy peasy. So if you need to hop off, I understand we've lost a bunch of people already because we went over the hour. But if you want to stick around and get some more ideas, I am happy to. Becky, if you can stick around, that's great. If you need to head off, we can accommodate. You're good?
I'm here. I can't leave you. Yeah.
I don't want you to leave me.
Like, we're in the weeds together.
Yes.
I just want to say we have had, Jenny, I've been monitoring the chat, and I got to say we have got some great ideas. So you and I need to get together tomorrow
and get these ideas and get them out to visitor hosts,
Yeah.
because I know everyone didn't have an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah.
But we will compose the ideas and put a one pager together, because I'm just sitting here like I've been typing and trying to respond, and
Good.
it's blowing up. So
Okay, good. Good. I love that. All right, we'll catch up. All right, so let's continue with questions and working and not working things. Mark.
Yes, I did not know this. It was quite interesting. If you go 2 meetings without bringing any visitors, then someone has a handkerchief. I don't know if it's the president or whoever has a red handkerchief, and they wave the handkerchief as a visual to say, our number one way of growing people in the chapter is with visitors. The number one way. We went 2 meetings without the opportunity of doing that. I think we had 4 or 5 visitors the third meeting. So I like that. I did not know that was in the manual. At least that's what I was told.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I put that in the chat, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I'm definitely going to save the chat. So good. All right. Thanks, Mark. Sandy.
One quick question. January 13th, are they always going to be visitor host open mic, or does that change every time you have an event? It's open mic, but tonight was today's kind of like visitor host.
Always going to be you guys are my favorite. It's always going to be visitor host.
So it's all, but it really doesn't matter who comes in the chapter. Is that okay?
You are
Since
correct.
we're so new, I want them all to come if they can. Okay.
Even you VPs are welcome, Sandy.
Yeah, I'm learning. I just took over, so it's only been a month.
Yeah, totally. I want to help you make more money. And if that means we can make your visitors more comfortable and they are more likely to become members and use your services and products, then let's bring those people. If they're not the visitor host, let's bring the people who will do it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Kitty.
Sorry, I save this to after hours because I'm not positive, but I went to do attendance for a chapter whose VP was absent. And if you go into mark attendance rather than the visitor portal to mark attendance, all of those visitors were not there. They disappeared. But if you go back into visitor portal and then mark attendance, they showed up. So I don't know if that's what's happening out there, but that is exactly what happened to me, because old habits die hard. So I just went into mark attendance and there was no one there.
But they were in the portal.
They were in the portal.
And every time I say portal, I think, well, somebody must have time traveled. They were in the time travel portal. All right. Okay. So some workarounds. Thank you, Kitty. All right. Sandy, even more. What else?
Sorry, I forgot to put my hand down.
Yep. Oh, you didn't mean to have your hand up. Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. I see the chat has been very, very busy. I love looking at your faces. I see that now we're down to a mere 46 of our most intimate friends. Are there any other questions or great ideas, things that you wish we had had more time to do? Anything that I can help you with your visitor host experience? Well, I did see that. I see what Lisa Renz just put in the chat. So that's very important. Yes, Amy Smith with an old fashioned hand raise.
I don't know how to do that. You guys are all awesome. I'm sorry. Here I am. I even came in late, so I apologize, but I was working. Question on, I am not only new to BNI, but I'm new to visitor host. And I'm very curious. I think they've assigned 4 of us as visitor host. But I'm having a hard time figuring out who does what, and I'm not getting a lot of excitement from the other 3. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I guess I'm just, since I'm new to BNI, I don't want to like plow through and freak everybody out by following every single.
Plow through, Amy, do it. It's the new people that usually make everything better. No, don't plow through, but I would definitely spearhead a conversation with the other people who are the visitor hosts and say, and use this call as a catalyst and say, I was just on a call with a whole bunch of visitor hosts and I heard some really great ideas. Can the 4 of us have a meeting? Let's get on Zoom. Or if you're in the state where you can meet in person, let's go have a cup of coffee. I have some really great ideas. I think we could all make more money. I hate the idea that you guys are paying for memberships and you're leaving money on the table. And if it's by finding the right people to come into your chapter and give everybody an equal opportunity to succeed, I want to help you make that happen. And if you are going to rally the rest up, and you can even say, I know I'm the new person. I was just on this call and we had some great ideas. Can we talk about who's going to do what so we have the best experience possible? And maybe that'll kind of generate things. And if nobody bites, then you're the boss. You're in charge. And you could just connect with your chapter success coach or a visitor host who's on this call and maybe take down some contact information, have a one-to-one and say, what do you guys do? How can I do this? We are all doing the same thing in all the core chapters to make it work. And so we should be connecting and building relationships. And you all have to have one-to-ones every month anyway for your Power of One. Have one-to-ones with all the other visitor hosts and get best practices to make your chapter the best it can possibly be.
Okay, that's some great input. Thank you.
Yeah, good, good. Sharon. You were there for a second.
I'm
There you
sorry,
are.
I had to unmute. I just am getting an understanding of the timing of when everything needs to be done. I'm a visitor host, and Nellie was actually at our meeting today. We were so excited to meet her in person, and she helped us with the visitor portal and catch me especially up to speed. So the timing of when the VP goes into the Palms report, approves the visitors, and then closes out that Palms report, how soon does that affect the numbers that come through on the Palms report? Like, does that have to be done at a certain time of the week? So we meet on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And now I understand we need to make sure we mark those visitors in the portal within 48 hours.
Yeah.
But just the timing of when that Palms report closes, because there's confusion. People are like, well, I know I had more than that, or it's just people are just kind of having some questions about how all that comes together.
Yeah, and there are some BNI Connect technical answers to that. My 30,000 foot level answer to you would be to make sure the VP and the visitor hosts are talking to each other. The visitor hosts, by 10 minutes after your meeting, you know who came to your meeting, if a visitor showed up or if they didn't. I would recommend the visitor host do your part of that attendance piece as quickly as you can. There's really no reason to delay. You can put it, have an extra half hour after your meeting on your calendar so you don't have clients or whatever. And then the VP, a lot of times the vice presidents are saying, well, as long as I submit the Palms before the next meeting, that's fine. But I'm sure there are going to be enough directors here on the call here and coaches who are going to say, please don't wait till the last minute. Do it the next day or do it. But maybe Lisa or Kitty or Becky is somebody who's been in the field a lot more than I have. Is there a perfect time for a vice president to close the Palms and submit all of that? Is there a perfect day? Because all these people are on the call are like, we'll tell our vice presidents to do it right.
Me. I can answer that.
Okay, Tina, go.
Can I?
So up to the moment of your meeting, that is exactly what will go into Palms when you confirm it. Everything from your meeting time frame forward spills into the next week. So it's all the timing of when your actual meeting meets, then going forward. So yes, that's always a difficult one, but if you tell everyone to put it in the day before the meeting, it will count in your meeting roster when your VP completes Palms. And that's why we want your VP to complete Palms either right after the meeting or no more than 24 hours after the meeting.
Yeah. And and because we know that the visitor attendance triggers emails to them at least for the time being, we want the visitor attendance to be taken as quickly as possible after that, so they get the right email, because every director or coach who's on this call has gotten an email from a visitor that responded to the one they got that said, I was there, I was at the meeting, it was a lovely meeting. And we have to write back and say, I'm so sorry, there was a glitch in the system, we're so glad you were there, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody looks better if we submit the right thing so they get the right email. So for you as a visitor host, Sharon, you want to take that attendance as quickly as possible. And then the VP will close out the palms when the VP decides to close out the palms. But you do you, Sharon, you do you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Good.
Penny, can I say one comment to that though?
Yes, of course.
The nice thing is the vice president can go in and they can look and see if the visitor hosts have marked attendance. So that's the one kind of checks and balance on that. But the second thing, they wouldn't want to delay on entering the Palms report, because then the attendance letters are delayed. So sometimes people get the attendance letter because they marked it like the day before the meeting, and they're like, I wasn't absent that meeting. I was absent the meeting before it, because it seems like it's a week later because I don't look at the date. So in a perfect world, it'd be no more than 48 hours that all this stuff is done between the visitor host and the vice president.
Right. Who lives in a perfect world? Anybody? Let's
Not
make
usually,
it.
Jenny.
Let's make it.
Jenny
Let's make our own
does.
perfect world. Leroy.
My question, the answer to a question that was asked has already been answered, so I'm good over here.
Okay, well, nice to see your face. All right, Mary.
Yes, I'm sorry I was late. I actually put on my calendar that you started 5:30 Central Standard Time, so I apologize. So I'm really coming in at the end. But did we cover cleaning up the registration report? Because I feel I'm a new visitors host, but I've been in the chapter for a while in other areas, and there are some old registered visitors. Do we follow up with that? Like what's the protocol with the old registered that never attended?
That's a great question. I don't want those to go away, because as the person in marketing, Steve Tenuzzo and I may come up with a really great email campaign to reach out to all past visitors who never showed up. So we don't want them to go away necessarily. But Lisa or Becky, is there some specific direction that you would give them as to what you should do with visitors who never showed up maybe 3 or 4 months ago?
I would personally call them, because we have some great limited time offers right now. And remember, maybe it just wasn't their time. Wasn't their season whenever they came and visited, and say, hey, we may be doing, I was talking to Jenny early, we may be doing a home for the holidays event, but definitely invite them back.
Okay, thank you.
That's a great idea.
I think some people clean up those things too fast, like right after the meeting. That's a big mistake, because I see a lot of visitors will email and say, sorry, I couldn't make it, I'll come next week. But then they go and they've already been deleted, but it's very easy just to edit the date and pick and have the new date. So I wouldn't be fast to clear that out, that's for sure.
That's good. And Sandy, you have something to add to that? You have double hand raised.
Yeah, I actually have a real comment.
Okay.
As a VP, I was taught to do the palms right after the meeting, only because if I wait, then I'm, as a human person, it would, I was more worried about getting it in correctly. But I usually do it right after the meeting. Is there something I should be checking before I take attendance? And our visitor hosts, we have 3 of them. They don't take attendance. I do. So is there something I'm missing? I'm a new VP, and it's not, so I like to ask a lot of questions. I can also get a hold of Stacy Cahill too. So our chapter success.
If I might interject too, because I had that same kind of question. Our VP, actually, I read in a manual that one of us is supposed to, as visitor host, register or mark attendance for visitors, but our VP also does that. So very confusing kind of, which begs the question, why would the VP do attendance for everybody and not just also register?
Right.
So maybe that's why ours does that. I don't know.
I'm going to go back. I want to be sure I haven't missed somebody, because now you said once you submit the palms, it's like done, right? It's, yeah.
Well, you can
And-
go back and change it if you know something. I think visitor hosts and vice presidents probably want to talk to each other and determine the division of labor on this. Because I remember when I was the visitor host coordinator, at the very beginning, I would sit and I would welcome people. And I remember distinctly our VP walking by and say, don't worry about attendance. I'll take care of all of that. And I was like, okay. So that was the conversation we had. We want to figure out what works for your chapter, but I do think the conversation needs to happen. I see some directors nodding their heads, but if you guys want, Lisa, if you want to add anything, or Tammy, if you want to add anything.
No, I think that's completely right. There is, the good thing is that the visitor host can do it and show them the process, and vice versa, make sure the VP understands, because someone's out, so we got to make sure that someone gets it done. But ultimately, before the vice president submits the PALMS report for that week, that they need to make sure that all the visitors are marked that were in attendance.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Mr. Tenuzo.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a comment on this, but now I will. I love it when two people take attendance, just because the visitor host could get distracted at some point. So could the VP before the meeting. And also people come in late, they leave early. So it's nice to compare notes at the end of the meeting to make sure you got everything right.
That's true. Checks and balances.
Correct. So making that point. Second point is I am on BNI Core Regions right now, and I have added the 8 links that you send me. So if they go there now, it'll be there.
I couldn't love you more.
I just have a couple of questions for you on the other stuff that you sent, and so we'll get that wrapped up for tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
We're a good team. High five across the miles.
Yay.
Now Leroy has something to say.
You did it again, Jenny. I was going to make some comments in regards to the visitor host and the VP, but you've actually answered all the questions regarding that. Yeah, so
that's my job, Leroy. That's my job. Ed. Oh, I think you're on. There you go.
I was muted. No, great session. The one thing that I would like to do, there are a lot of folks who stayed on and really stuck with the process. So what I would like you to do is spin the wheel again and give those 3 books to somebody who's on this call. Who's a host.
That is very giver's gain of you, Ed. I love it.
They deserve it. They're working hard.
All right. So how am I going to do this? Because you guys, it's a different, Becky, how you got to help me. How am I going to do who is on here? I know.
Let's see how many people are on.
Well, let me count. Yeah, let me count the non-directors. I'm not giving it to you who work for BNI. You don't count.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write down.
We don't want any additional homework, Jenny.
What?
We don't want any additional homework, so that works out great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no more books.
No more books.
Hey, that's extra CEUs for you.
Yeah, today is definitely a CEU for you guys.
Woohoo!
Because you learned a lot. And Joanne, we're going to make this as efficient as I can.
And I'll just pick a number. You tell me how many you have and I'll pick a number.
I think this is a great way to end things. Almost done.
I see participants says 29. That's quite a group.
Yeah, to stay this late, huh? Okay, I think I have everybody. We'll soon see. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of you are not directors. So pick a number between 1 and 15, Ed.
I'm going to pick magic 7. Roll the 7s.
Amy Smith, you get some books. Huzzah. That is so generous of you, Ed.
So generous of you. Thank you. I love books and I'm new at this. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you for your participation. We appreciate it.
What a fun way to end the call. No hands. Everybody's a winner. Big money, no whammies. Everybody wins. Thank you so much for sticking around an extra half hour. You all are the best. And I'm so, so glad that we all get to serve together. I am Jenny Butts at BNI.com. So please let me know if you have visitor host questions. If I can't answer the specific thing, I will forward you to somebody who can, and we will make the best chapter experience possible for your chapters and your visitors. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you in January. Don't eat too much next week. Yes, eat too much. That's what it's for.
everyone.
I better save the chat. There's some good stuff in there.